Welcome back, everybody, to On the Edge of Shadow. I am your narrator, Blackthorn here. First session of 2023. I am so glad that we all survived this holiday season. And I hope everyone else had a peaceful, safe holiday. It got pretty bad for a little while. But last we left our two Corsairs. They had been, for lack of, well, I would think press ganged is more or less uh, the term. We've kind of forced into a job to investigate an issue from what you guys kind of discovered. He's a pirate captain, a smuggler king, some kind of criminal, possibly a warlord, a drug lord, of a smuggler, whatever. We don't actually quite know who Mormaz the Helper is, but you were voluntold to investigate a kind of a sea lane that a few of his associates use to avoid some of the Navy out there. And it was a small strait through an archipelago that smugglers and then pirates would use to again evade the authorities. And for whatever reason, more and more ships are starting to go missing in this area, not necessarily as vast, as large as the Bermuda Triangle, but like a small stretch of islands. There's something going on out here, and no one's coming back. Some are saying that the island cannibals are attacking the ships and eating all of the sailors, of course. There is talk of a djinn out there that lives in a sea cave and sings a melody that like a siren to pull sailors to their doom. But once you get out here, it is a graveyard of ships and ships of strange patterns. A few nationalities you've actually not seen. Some designs out there that are interesting. Lateen sails, sloops, maybe a few larger carracks, smaller war galleys, such like that. And crawling over these shallow reefs, swimming from downed hulk to hulk, and Tirak was accosted by some slimy, fishy appendage that stung him horribly and had left needles in him and a pussy, oily ooze coming out of his calf there. A landlocked individual like him who's not spent time in the water has no idea what sort of horror had come upon him, but the initial lightheadedness has since dissipated. But the oppressiveness of the situation, the waves constantly battering you, throwing you against these rocks, and against the slippery hulls, are starting to weigh upon your exhaustion. You hunker down in the belly of we're gonna say a carrack here, and you see, you're overlooking a stretch of beach that a number of these primitive cannibals have come out onto the beach, painted in these nautical themed blue, white, and gray clays. One of them seems to be a priest of some kind, shaking a shell noisemaker of some kind and chanting something. Another one has built a small campfire of of driftwood and herbs, and then now the flame is giving off an eerie green witch fire glow there. In the setting sun here, the scene has an oppressive eldritch feel to you. And the last things that we saw from last session was this sinuous blue gray slithering thing coming up the beach. Ben Yathud, would you describe your character for us?
Ben Yathud is a man that currently exudes the idea of exhaustion. His clothing is plastered to him with the quickly drying seawater, leaving little stains of salt here and there, patterning the weave of it. His face, normally darkened by the sun, has a very slight, almost a gray to it, as someone who has been through, well, something both terrifying and exhausting. Even the wrap that he customarily wears when his head seems to hang limply. His hands quiver just a bit as they hold on to the decking around him to steady himself against the occasional possible motion of this wreck. Even if it's stuck fast, the seaman in him does not allow him to not be steadied when he's at sea, as it were. And his eyes have a bleakness to them as he stares out at this thing coming up out of the water, almost a dread of a man seemingly maybe seeing his own end in a tableau before him, as his mind is racing, trying to find a way to get himself and his friend Tarak out of this situation, which is maybe his eagerness or youthful exuberance may have led him to charge into, maybe a bit without thought.
Tarak, could you describe your character for us?
Well, Tarak really wishes he wasn't where he was right now. As stated before, this man has been landlocked his entire life, and right now wishes nothing more than to be back in the desert sands, blistering in that hot sun. He's not as exhausted as Ben is, but I can't quite remember how injured Ben was, if any, but he probably is in a great deal more pain, as those quills or whatever they were, stingers or whatnot, are still laying there next to him, surrounded in that black tarry substance, which he is still completely freaked out by what would cause that in such a short amount of time, because that's nothing he's ever dealt with before. And he heard the cannibals, which is kind of like he's hearing it in the background, but at the moment it's not of his concern. It's more the fact that he keeps seeing that tentacle every now and then, and he is kind of wondering desperately how they are going to survive any measurement of time. At the moment, his clothes are a little bit raggedy than usual. I assume he's probably torn off some just to try to keep his wound closed, as well as the poultice or two that he used. His hair is probably matted to his face. He probably looks a lot paler than his bronze skin would normally give out. And even though they are miles and miles and many miles away from the nearest desert, he is currently fervently praying to the sands to do something to get him out of this predicament.
So the scene on the beach with the cannibals unfolds. In total, there is 10 of these individuals. So painted and garbed in grasses, as well as possibly some reed type garments. Kind of like, almost looks like primitive body armor in a way, kind of lashed about them. They bring an 11th individual, which is not of their people. They bring out a Yathite woman that I mean, obviously she's naked, she's devoid of clothing, and she's she's been mistreated a great deal. She's beaten and bruised, all sorts of plenty, and she is lashed to what seems to be a pole that they're seeming to carry her around with, or drive her headlong before them. And it's not hard for the two of you, even in your delirious states, to go, there actually might be this looks like a primitive sacrificial rite they're trying to put together here, and some of the horrors of some whispered sea cults, some degenerate like sea demons, not proper and organized worship of the crushing depths, but lesser demons or horrors of the waves, such like that you possibly have heard in taverns throughout your life. More or less, you would think that these are tales to scare children, but now you now are much wiser for it. She is dragged closer to the water, and this sinuous tentacle thing snakes its way up through the sand, leaving a kind of an S-curve swath through it, and I was like half burrowing, half pressing it aside, and as the waves are lapping up there, bringing seaweed. Now you get the feeling, Tarak, then that's probably the thing that stung you, and there is a pulsing musculature to it, where you see in patches of this tentacle, spines will reach out, almost like a wasp stinger in places, and it'll pulse in one direction, it'll pulse in another. And give us a brief soliloquy on this unfolding in your mind.
He's probably he's probably going to go one of a couple things. One, he's probably going to stare speechless at this thing, because one, he's seeing it again a little bit further away and whatnot. And two, when he actually sees the stingers come out, one, it's going to click in his head of, oh, that's what the fuck's laying right next to me. And two, how many does this godforsaken thing have? And it's going to be almost like just an eldritch horror is going to take over his mind. And at some point during this revelation of seeing this thing, that old hag's words back at the temple are probably going to echo back to him about stuff from the black abyss in front and behind coming to get me. And he's just like, he's going to look over at Ben and see what Ben's even thinking about if he sees this thing. Because right now, Tarak just has this look of, how the hell does anything like this even exist? Much less, why are we here around it?
How do the two of you wish to proceed?
As Tarak will see on Ben's face, his eyes are wide and staring at this thing as it's almost hypnotized by its sinuous motion. An anticipation, almost it's hard to say because the anticipation of what he knows is about to happen is parts horror and oddly enough parts fascination. Though that fascination, you can see the look on his face of it is not a good fascination, but the idea of hopefully if he sees what it does, maybe he can figure out how it's affecting Turok and how he might help. But at the same time, thinking that poor woman is going to be taken by that and what will happen to her, and hoping beyond hope, praying to any god he can think of in his mind that before she leaves that beach and enters that water, life leaves her body, that she does not experience what will happen beneath those waves. And he notices Turok looking at him, and he looks over at him and he says, and he leads himself up, almost not being able to because of the level of exhaustion that he seems to have had. And he's like, this may be our only chance. If it's distracted, maybe we can get away. Do you think you can swim to the next boat back to where we came?
Turok's going to try to get to his feet. You want me to do a conditioning for that?
You actually don't need to. You are not exhausted.
Right, but I didn't know if the pain was too much in the leg or whatnot.
No.
No?
You're good.
Okay.
You're fine.
Okay. Yeah, no, Turok will get to his feet. It'll probably be unsteady just because he didn't know what to expect. Flavor and such. But yeah, he'll get to his feet. He'll actually flex that leg a couple of times, make sure everything's working properly. And he'll look at Ben, he'll look to the group, and then he'll look at the water between them. And well, we don't have any other choice now, do we? Because I don't want to deal with that thing again.
I don't either. Ben pulls himself wearily up to his feet and almost falls over because of how exhausted he currently is. And he looks out at the waves and the way that the motion of them is. And he looks and he almost seems to gauge how far away this tentacled thing is. Now I'm assuming that he's seen like octopi or squid or something like that in his time in the ocean, hasn't he?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh
well,
nothing
that big, no. But regular size one. He thinks of those.
Oh, yeah.
And he thinks that thing has got to be huge. And he'll look at Turok and he'll say, that thing I think might be just an arm of this thing. It may have more.
Don't
so
tell
be careful.
me that.
Well, if I don't tell you that, then it happens. You can't move and get out of the way. So I just want you to know.
Are you going to be able to swim, Ben? Could you like can barely stand?
He looks at the water and he said, sure, I'll be able to swim.
Turok's going to give him a level gaze. Ben, are you going to be able to swim and get back up on the next boat?
He looks at you and he gives you a grin that is very, very maybe. I don't know.
Narrator, remind me, how far away from our ship did we go? If we remember.
From the ship?
From like where our ship was to where we are now. How far away was that? Do we remember?
I think it was about
like a mile and a half.
Yeah. There were at least 3 ships and a couple of like
you guys were kind of
bouncing.
Right, we were island hopping.
Yeah. But you guys are straight from where you guys currently are, and you can actually look out over the sea. 3 sea miles.
Okay.
One direction, but that's like,
yeah,
it's worse if you're gonna go back. Like go back the way you came. It was some time. You're going around and about.
Mm-hmm.
So, what? I'm sorry. Continue. What are you guys up to?
Well,
besides
because
deliberating.
Tarak basically thinks Ben's not going to make it.
He's gonna drown. Absolutely. In his
He's
state,
gonna drown.
he's gonna fucking just he's gonna drown. And it's choppy seas too.
Right. Is there anything on this particular wreckage that Tarak can use to help him float or swim?
Hell no.
Of course, there's not.
Is
The
the
sea
shore
has-
closer?
No, the cannibals on the shore are absolutely
Yeah.
closer.
Right. But is there a way we can Ben's going to look around. Is there a way we could possibly get to shore and stay hidden, like behind a wreck or something?
Not at your current position,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
They are standing between you. It and them are standing between you and on that side of the scene.
Okay.
Freedom. Because of course.
What do we have out to sea from us? He's going to look the other direction.
Well, there's the ship, obviously way out there. And the razor blades and knives of the reason they don't want to bring the ship closer because none of you are
obviously
going to survive. Well, and obviously the maze of reefs that you'd have to traverse to get back to a safe place for them to extract you.
Okay.
But make me an awareness test.
Okay. I hope you saw something to rock because I have a total of a 7.
A 7.
I got a 15.
Okay.
All right, a 15. Shit, no, you don't see anything.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Ben, I swear to God, if you die on me, I'm bringing you back somehow just to kill you myself.
I'm not. I don't intend to die on you. I'm just trying to figure out a way to get out of here. I mean, just give me a few minutes to catch my breath. I should be fine.
The woman on the shore shrieks in horror as something over there happens, and there's kind of like a swell in the chanting of this.
Mm-hmm. Ben
Tarak's
is actually
not looking back over there.
but I'd say Ben is going to close his eyes and mutter a prayer.
Okay.
The prayer is that scream cuts off very, very quickly.
Okay. The shriek gets louder, and you hear something dragging uncomfortably in the wet sand and the surf, and
shudder.
This is horrible. It takes forever for this thing to drag its prey to the water's edge, and the crescendo and of just it's ear splitting as you're both you cover your eyes, you're looking away, and horror of horrors, Tarak, somebody grabs you. And you turn and you look into the salt and pepper beard of good old Monzu, and he says, "Shut up and come with me." And he just drags you, Grandpa pushes you to the end of the ship, and he grabs Ben. He says, "Don't say a fucking word," and he pushes you in that direction. You kind of like slip and slide and fall. He fucking grabs you. The iron sinews of that tiger's hand grabs your arm. You're like, "Oh shit, Granddad, hang on, that's my arm. Don't pull it out of the socket." And you push it. You guys get to the end of the ship, and there's the fucking skiff at the bottom. Thank the gods. And there you just crawl in there as the screaming gets louder until it is cut off by splashing and gurgling.
The entire time this has been going on, Ben has muttering prayers under his voice. and to anything you could possibly think of.
Mhm.
And
Whatever
Turok,
God is
yeah,
listening.
yeah. And as he enters the boat, he goes to take an oar and probably flops down into the gunnels, trying to sit down even. So his exhaustion is such that he can't even really set himself up straight. So but he'll push himself out of the way if if they come in to take the oars, and or if there's anybody else. I don't know if there's anybody else in the skiff. Is there anyone else in the skiff?
There always the Monzu is there, and 4 other of the Corsairs are there,
Okay.
and they're each of them has an oar, so there's 4 there. And
Okay.
you guys are gonna once
he'll-
you guys are in custody of the crew, so to speak.
Yeah.
They get the fuck out.
Okay. He will say, "You men are sent from the heavens themselves," and he will pass out.
Just proud.
Boom. Yeah.
Next scene. All right, so Tarak, go ahead.
Oh, I'll do the only thing Tarak's gonna do is as soon as he's in the skiff and he hears the screaming stop and gurgle. I rolled an 8 on a conditioning check to not throw up, which I'm assuming I failed and just laid out my stomach over the side of the skiff. Yeah, that's it. And then next scene, we'll go get and do that.
Okay. We reconnoiter to the ship, She Who Runs Before the Waves. You have found a safe enough cove to anchor in, as there is a storm, but it's not over the top of you. It's maybe a few miles off. You can actually see the really pretty light show with the with the lightning there, and in the interim there, everyone's got the ship prepared for bad weather, but you guys are staying here for the evening on a more or less kind of a windswept isle, maybe a few nautical miles away. The 2 of you awaken sometime that evening in the middle of the night, and the She Who Runs Before the Waves does not have cabins, so to speak, just in your bunks or hammocks. You awaken to the sounds of just ship activity as would be usual.
Well, Ben is going to get up and he'll sit, because I think we said earlier he had a bunk, and he's going to actually put his feet on the deck next to his bunk and put his hands in his head, or his head in his hands, sort of shake his head a little bit. Look around to see if there's a pitcher of water nearby and get himself a drink.
There's a pitcher of grog nearby.
That'll work just as good.
You have
grog, water, grog, whatever.
You have been reduced to 1 grade of exhaustion.
All right. And he is going to take his weary bones up off of his bunk. He's going to take a look around first off to see if anybody else is down here. So
just you and Tarak, I suppose. Tarak,
okay.
You're probably rousing yourself as we speak.
Okay. Yeah. I'll push the grog towards you.
No, yeah, Tarak would probably do one of those almost like the bolt upwards, wide awake type of moments. And kind of look around. For a moment, he's gonna have that, oh, was it all a bad dream? Now he's probably gonna look down his leg and realize no, it wasn't.
Which hurts like the Dickens, mind you.
I bet. And then in like a macabre sense of shadowing, he thinks to himself, why the hell didn't I grab one of those stingers to bring with? because now I can't prove anything.
Mhm.
But that was like that whole, oh fuck, it was real. Oh fuck, I can't prove it's not real. No, then yeah, he'll take the grog. He'll probably finish that cup. And he'll look at Ben. Can you get up now without falling back over on us?
Ben will stand up and test his steadiness. And nod. Yeah, I can stand finally. He'll reach out, actually hold his hand out to Tarak to help him up.
Rock will help him.
Okay.
Let's go talk to our savior.
Oh, yeah. You picked
We
a
owe that
good-
man 2 trips to Raw now.
I know we do. Good night at brothel. So we'll take our way down to the gangway up and see what's going up on deck, and let them know that those they have rescued survived. So
Manzu is topside speaking with Zama as well as a few of the other sailors, and kind of overseeing what would I suppose would be the night duties before he's basically handing the ship off to Zama. Is that quick meeting? You're handing the department off to him. There you
Right.
go. And this is what happened. This is what's going on. All right, here that, and then you two walk up, and Manzu looks at the both of you rather with a concerning amount of seriousness in his eyes, in his expression.
Okay.
You're noticing that a lot of the sailors are kind of keeping their distance from the two of you.
Uh-oh. Okay. Ben will actually grin from ear to ear and look at Manzu and says, Manzu, no need to look at me like that. I'm still alive. And
that is not necessarily the concern of the ship at this time.
He'll look over at Tarak and he'll look back and says, what's going on?
It has been observed by the crew as well as some of the officership that the captain is he displays a concerning amount of disregard for himself, the crew, and his position. And I have been approached by several who will remain nameless, that I should be made captain instead.
And
everyone on deck is now looking on
attention.
at this exchange, really fucking awkward like. And Zama doesn't want to look at anybody, and it's like,
I'll look over at Tarak. I'll look at Manzu and I'll say, and what is your opinion, Manzu? I value it.
It wouldn't be truthful if I was to say this ship couldn't necessarily run without me.
That's very true.
But I am here, as per our original agreement, to be ferried to Ra so I can see my wife again.
That very much should be our next destination, I believe, after this storm blows away.
I'm not so sure that we can just go straight to Ra. Did you see what we just
I'll look at him and look over at Turok, look back at him, and I'll say, I did see something that very seriously concerned me, and something that I will, to be honest, put a bit of maturity on me, if you will, as I stared into my own mortality. And I do believe that prior to me doing what I just did, yes, I would agree with the crew. Your captain put himself in danger recklessly and should not have done that.
And in doing so, placed the souls of the rest of our men in jeopardy as well.
Yes. And we did make the agreement that the men were sailors, not fighters. I guess, and that I did not wish to place you in that position of having to possibly make a decision to draw a blade against something. How can I make it up to you? I hold my sort of, and when I say that, I say it to Manzu, but I sort of half turn to Zama.
You're speaking to him, but it's arcing the question to everyone.
Yeah.
Well, at this moment, Manzu is the crew, so speaking to Manzu, we're
effectively,
yes. He is the quartermaster. He is the voice of the crew in this ship politics. I believe this requires further discussion, possibly in private.
So be it. He, at that point, he sort of steps forward to Manzu and he says, I would not put the burden of being captain upon your shoulders. But if it was anyone, I would trust you wouldn't throw me overboard. He'll sort of smile at that, almost like a question,
He nods. He doesn't smile back at you because he's obvious. This is serious.
Yeah, I agree.
But he nods.
Yeah,
but he just kind of like points with his beard to below deck, and
okay.
The four of you, Zama included, and Zama brings up the rear, and he just kind of like
there. Yes.
Zama gives everyone a look, and they just fall out to do what they're supposed to do. Once we reconvene below deck, Zama explains that he has picked a spot that is far enough away from the larger islands that has a few enough trees to where he's quite positive that there won't be any company, uninvited unintended, uninvited, and unwanted visitors this evening. So and with the storm, we're pretty safe.
Yeah.
But he says accidents happen. So we need to be quick and vigilant. And Manzu sits down you guys basically have a card table out there.
Yeah.
That's a poor excuse for a meeting table, but it's what you got. And 4 of you are sitting down, and you guys will begin your officer meeting. And Manzu says, no, you are correct. These men are not fighters. They are merchantmen. And maybe 2 of them has held a sword in their life.
Yeah.
And that is not including the people at this table. So 4.5 fighters on a ship. All 4 of them are officers and should not all be sent off into battle by any means, because if we all die, they can't take care of themselves.
Understood.
They will kill themselves before they can elect another leader to get out safely. And Manzu says, None of them can read.
I look over at Turok, remembering that I really can't read his language either. But
So if
I'm working on
Turok died and he's the only one who can read the charts, we're all sunk.
Good point. So we definitely can't go back to port.
No, because we can't afford the taxes.
We can't afford to dock. We also can't take care of whatever that is. He waves off back towards where we were.
I don't want to go back and deal with whatever that thing. Did you see the
I don't
size
either.
of those stingers stuck in my leg?
I did. And I'll hold my hand up like this to show the other two, like that long. And his leg started pouring black tar-like stuff. It was horrible.
Which am I still like? Do I still have like the tar and the oil still seeping out, or is that all like healed up and stuff?
Your leg from the knee down is numb on that side.
Well, I figured that. I figured from the pain. I just didn't know if like.
But does it seep? Yeah.
Is it okay? Is it like the black tarry stuff, or is it more just like pus and plasma? Is what I'm asking. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's delicious.
You're right. Scoop that up and have it for dinner tonight.
Oh, yum.
Roast leg of Turok.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well, says, well,
Right.
in that case, we have three things ahead of us that we need to tackle. One, we need to have provisions for the men. That's my first thing. My first thought.
Zama speaks of and says we've already stripped the island of whatever foodstuffs that we can have.
The other thing that I need to get is one of these lotuses. I actually have
what kind of lotus?
I believe it's a blue one I'm looking for. They tend to, well, I was told they grow near the springs on these islands.
Oh.
So, and
well, that would be up on the mountainside.
So I would have to get to there to do that, but I wouldn't want to have the crew worry about their captain running off to do that. But I may have to within the next day or so. And then something to put in the hold so that when we get to Ra, we have something to trade other than the provisions we happen to have on the ship. So that if you or any of the men chose to continue on, we'd have pay for them.
Mm-hmm.
I know men don't like to work for the good their health.
Manzi says this is not a slave galley.
No, it is not. It never will be if I'm captain. So,
but they already stripped the island. Where are we going to find something to put in the hold?
Of foodstuffs, mostly is what they mean.
Yeah. So what kind of stuff? So I'll look at the two of them in Turok and say, so any ideas about what we might be able to get for that? It might be worth taking to Ra.
Well, Zama speaks up and says, well, there's plenty of half-sunk ships out there that probably have plenty of booty in those reefs. However, and his eye just kind of like, he doesn't want to look at anybody with his remaining eye. Like, he's the expression on his face, which his face is fucking ghastly, is clearly it's an excellent fucking idea, but no one actually wants to go out there.
Just say going out there before. I don't think you can actually drag Turok back out there. At least I know I couldn't.
Unless I'm the one staying in the boat and you guys go out into the water, it's not happening.
And from what we saw going from the different ships and such, they're pretty much stripped. There's not much out there.
Can't be all of them.
True, but who wants to search every ship out there while that thing dwells beneath, just waiting to snatch someone down?
And there were the cannibals too, who just said they haven't gone through and stripped them all out.
And that's true.
Especially since they seem to have that sacrifice thing on lockdown, placate that thing for however bloody long, and then probably go out and rummage wherever the hell they want.
Possible.
Perhaps this monster has already eaten.
It may have. There's no telling if, I mean, when it
How
eats,
often
does
does
it
it need to feed?
Yeah. Is it every day? Is it multiple times a day? Was that just a small taste to whet its appetite? I don't know. No. But we could, though, sail around the outer edge of it and see what's there. And at any sign of trouble, we turn and flee.
Okay. Remind me, narrator, because this is a player question.
Yep.
The islands that we passed by, and I know he mentioned that we were in an area with trees, but is there like a bunch of trees on these islands, or is like a forest kind of sparse and few?
Depends on the size of the island. Sometimes you can see through it to see the sea on the other side. See the sea. Or sometimes the forest is the isle is large enough to where you can't see through it. It's more or less a what would you want to call it? It's a wooded palm archipelago. Some isles are bigger than others, some are rockier than others. It really depends.
Okay.
Manzu, these trees, do you know if they're any good for barter or making stuff with?
No, palms aren't good for sailing. It's too flexible and too fibrous.
Right, but what if we get the raw and someone doesn't want them for sailing?
The ship wouldn't take much of it, though. Maybe.
I know their nuts are very prized in some parts of the world, though.
And we've already stripped the island of what they have
food
for
stuff.
coconuts.
Yeah.
Yes.
True. So
I'm just thinking a way to not have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But also get stuff in the hold. So
yeah.
But you would know better than I would about what would be valuable and what would not.
Well, as I said, it might not hurt once this storm blows over for us to sail and we have food, we have water. We can sail around the edge of that reef out beyond the breakers where it's safe and just see what we can see. I mean, if we don't see anything, we leave. We go find something else. We go to another island maybe, and maybe they have the beach is littered with treasure that's been washed up from these shipwrecks. We have no idea.
I wouldn't entertain those thoughts.
No. The hope of youth, if you will, but yes. Or we can. These lotus seem to be fairly. How common are these things seen in Ra? These blue lotuses, are they just a common flower, or are they? Do you know if they're sought after by pretty young ladies?
The lotus is
putting their hair. I don't know. I know nothing
quite
of them.
rare. Blue lotus, it grows in. It's a mountain flower. It grows in springs and rivers and pools at higher altitudes. You would not find if you were to find blue lotus, actually live plants in Ra, they would be extremely expensive.
So if we were to say find a place where some of these grow and harvest them and take them with us, that might be a worthy cargo.
If you can find many of them.
It's worth a shot, maybe. What do you think about that, Tarok? as an idea.
Let's see if we can find them first.
Yes. So, well, we'll look at your little. Do we have a chart of this area we're in? I couldn't recall if we did or not.
Not of this area, no.
Okay. Well, did we pass any islands with mountains sailing here?
No, the only island that had a mountain on it was Sultaj.
Okay. So, and we definitely can't go back to the city there in Sultaj.
No.
I wonder if we could drop anchor on the other side of the island. And how you are either of you familiar with Sultaj and the would they be sending out patrols, you think, to the other side of the island to see if anyone's harbor or anchoring there, or would you think they would be pretty much afraid of the cannibals out beyond their gates? I think they'd be afraid of the cannibals out beyond their gates.
I would be afraid of the cannibals.
True. But I have to fulfill this Gaius.
It's a Gaius. Zama,
yes.
It's not Zama. Zama has dismissed himself, actually.
Okay. I'll actually do something. I don't think I've done this yet.
Zama said peace.
I'm gonna go over to my little locker.
He's going to do his managerial duties.
Okay. I'll actually go and pull out of my satchel the little case with the scroll that I had on it. That was the agreement that I had made. And actually lay it out and say, this is the whole reason for me even needing this ship in the first place, was to get this done. I have to take some Blue Lotus to Tom Hagir in the Highlands so that a young girl may be laid to rest finally, so that her soul does not wander the world as a restless whatever they become.
Do you hand this over to Manzu?
I'm just going to sort of lay it out on the table, let him look at it. I'm not going to actually hand it to him, but I'm going to let him see it.
And he asks you, what kind of lotus do you want to get?
Instead of Blue Lotus.
This parchment says black.
So where are the Black Lotus found?
Where are those found? Am I in the wrong place? Because I was reading this as blue.
It's a good thing that I caught you, because if you delivered something incorrect, and if this was a Gaius, you would die.
True.
Black Lotus grow in caves, but those are even worse. Sometimes they're in ruins. It's a flower associated with death and grows in rotting places.
Well, in that case, I wonder whereabouts here I would find a Black Lotus of that type. Obviously, it wouldn't be anywhere near that reef. I am actually at a loss at this point, but I'll have to figure something out.
All right, then. Let's discuss the captaincy then.
So if nothing else, I think we need to get to Ra. And from Ra, we can see from there. As far as the captaincy goes, yes. Let's discuss it. What do you truly believe needs to be done on my part?
The crew is not comfortable with you as captain anymore.
Understood.
But that leaves a ship in my care, however, temporarily. Zama has already refused captaincy. You are not going to pay him enough to be a captain. Zama is wanted in 3 kingdoms, and he is, in fact, a pirate. He is the only pirate on this vessel.
Okay.
And if it comes into public knowledge that he becomes a captain again, any ship who sails underneath him becomes pirate, and he does not want anyone else to be guilty by association.
Understood.
Zama, being the ugly bastard that he is, does in fact have a kind heart.
Oddly enough, many pirates do, believe it or not.
Mm.
It's odd to say that, but
so Manzu just he goes, fuck. I'm too old for this.
Do we give it to one of your sons as placeholder until we reach Ra?
They have already refused captaincy as well.
I'll look over and say, Tarak.
They're not going to want a landlocked stranger being captain.
No,
they already don't want you as captain. They definitely don't want me.
And that just leaves you, Manzu.
He rolls his eyes.
Is there anyone else on board that would take it that you would actually trust even a little bit to take it?
No one else can read. I am overqualified for this position, young man.
You were overqualified when we hired you for any position, Manzu. Come on now.
This is the only time in the conversation he smiles. He goes, I just want to fuck my wife and go home.
And we're trying to get you there. Trust me.
Yeah, we have some things we need to get.
If I had the money, I even pay for the honeymoon night for you.
So, boys, help.
Would they accept you as captain and me as first mate?
That was brought up by my youngest remaining son under the stipulation that you would be under heavy supervision.
You don't do anything stupid.
I can agree to that. So who would be appointed quartermaster?
Zama.
Okay.
Zama would still retain his responsibilities as mate of the Night Watch.
Okay.
However, we would be seeing less of him.
Obviously. So
This ship isn't very big, but he would be very busy.
Yes, he would be. I can do that with the concerns of I'll tap the now rolled up scroll. I need to get this done. Once this is done, as I said, I am willing to turn the ship over to you to sail or to sell once I have completed my quest.
Didn't you kill a wine merchant to have this ship?
I didn't kill a wine merchant. I put a wine merchant out of his misery.
Oh.
And he wasn't a wine merchant. He was a merchant of nothing at that time. Oh. I think if my hand had not done the deed, his would have done by dawn.
Was it that bad?
It was that bad. Yes,
it was pretty bad.
When I found the man, he was being serenaded horribly by the last member of his crew, who sawed at a instrument that sounded somewhat like the protestations of a goose being stuffed before it was killed.
Oh,
Trust me, I put the man out of his
Oh.
misery.
Do we have the documentations from his previous voyages? If they
We
have any notes remaining on where his contacts were, we could possibly pick up where he left off.
we have some, not all.
Damn it.
Most of it got destroyed in one of the
Yeah.
storms.
Yeah. I'll actually, I'll go and actually retrieve what we had left, which wasn't very much.
Part of it, if I remember correctly, and I believe I wrote part of this down, that part of it was on parchment, part of it was in clay tablets, and then there was a storm that the clay tablets either got destroyed or
The tablets got
misplaced.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they? God damn it.
Yeah, because I even tried saying there was any way I could put them back together, and you said no, they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically turned to dust when they all fucked
Yeah.
up.
This was also more at the beginning of this, where you were like, "Well, it's the rags part of the campaign."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
we
That
were
is
getting
very true.
we were
Yeah,
getting
no,
shit
that-
on over and
I
over and
remember
over
correctly,
again.
and he got these people
Wasn't
have
that bad.
almost no record of themselves anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we made comment about how a man's entire lineage now just got wiped away from the world.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I remember correct now. If he had contacts and he was in a previous life a wine merchant, you could possibly pick up where he left off if given more experience.
Understood.
And if I get my wife's permission, I might hold the captaincy of this ship longer. We shall see.
We shall. And maybe under your tutelage, I may become worthy of being a captain once again at some far, far distant future date.
So, for the time being, I will take on the role as captain.
Okay.
You, Ben, will be first mate under supervision. Zama will take on the responsibilities of quartermaster. As first mate, you will also assume the position that you had on your previous ship, a sail mate, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
We officers,
Sailmaster's mate.
we officers will be pulling double duty because we do not have very many readers on this ship.
Yes.
Now then, we need to find a flower. And we need to make ourselves ready for the long sail and the long journey back to Ra.
That we do.
You boys need to. He just kind of like rolls it around in his head for a few moments. I'm going to drop you off on Soltage, and we're going to meet elsewhere.
That can be done.
Do we have any questions, concerns, comments, or grievances for the new captain? And he rolls his eyes.
I'll sort of smile at him. No, Captain. No complaints whatsoever. Other than the grog being a little thin.
That
you
will
really
be
know how to
rectified
push it, don't
shortly.
you? I'm applying it as sort of a standard complaint of all sailors. You know, kind of like, the only complaint I have is the wind's not blowing hard enough. That kind of a thing. So, but yes, sir.
The rum will be rectified shortly. The grog will be rectified shortly. Sleep. You will be bunking with the rest of the crew.
Understood.
And with that, Manzu, Captain Manzu, newly minted Captain Old Timer Manzu, hauls his aged bones off of the chair. You find it fascinating and you marvel at him every time you look at this guy. He looks magnificent. How can someone be so old and decrepit but tower over guys as a leader and have the grip strength of a Bengal tiger? And he walks off to like the inner, like where the captain's quarters would be, that desk, and begins going over everything that was not initially his business.
Okay, and I will go grab my satchel and my stuff off of the bunk and transfer it to the crew's quarters across the way. So I'm now in a hammock, apparently.
Right.
So
yeah, Monzu, you get the feeling that this is like super old hat for him.
Yeah.
Manzu is, and you can't tell how old he is. He right. Like when you first met him, he said he was like 72 cycles. But someone else asked him how old he was. He said 43 cycles. Yeah, the other day, exactly. It was 97 cycles.
Yeah.
So like 40 plus somewhere.
Yeah. You probably know when his birthday was. So once I have my stuff stowed, I'll go over with him, and as first mate, basically make myself available to if he has any questions to get him up to speed on everything we had in there.
Right. So. He will do that, and he'll ask you that for your morning report in the morning.
Will do. Back in the bunk then.
His ass is going to put his old bones in his coffin. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys that evening. Okay. Since I'm gonna say you slept much of the afternoon. It is somewhere in the middle of the night right now.
Okay.
So Monzo puts himself to bed some hours after sundown.
Okay.
You guys woke up, had your meeting. Your meeting took maybe like an hour and a half, and then you have however many hours until dawn as downtime. What do you guys wish to do?
I'm going back to bed. I still have a great exhaustion, so
do it. Tarak, you've got you have several hours of downtime. What are you doing?
Well, Tarak is probably he'll redress his wound just to stop the seeping as much as possible and whatnot. And then because the ones he probably has are starting to go bad or have already gone bad, he's probably going to get a thing of poultices going. And if we still have that one guy on board that helps with that, he will get it going and hand it off to him. Otherwise, he'll just do it for the couple hours that he's up.
One of the guys, that guy that you have been somewhat tutoring in apothecary, does have a couple bandages treated with aloe that you can use. That gives you a +2 to your apothecary. Should you wish to use those now, it's up to you.
Yeah, we can do that.
It's less seeping now, and obviously less filthy. It kind of amazes you how much fluid is coming out of your calf when there's only so much in there.
Right, like part of me is like I shouldn't even have this much in my body at one time that's coming out of here right now.
You should have bled out like twice how much you're leaking all over the damn place, but
right.
It seems like you're doing all right for now.
But yeah, like I said, he'd redress himself. He'd check on that kid, make sure he's still doing everything okay, make sure which obviously it seems like he is.
For someone who can't read, he does all right.
Right. He'll ask the kid if they have any questions for him. And if there's nothing else for him to do with the poultices, then he'll probably go crash out with whatever time he has left.
Okay. So there is no cockerel to be the harbinger of the morning there. As per your usual sleep schedule, Ben wakes up probably an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes before dawn. As per his duties, he goes about being first mate, checking everything, greeting the night people as they are coming down. Zama, who has probably been smoking opium all evening long, still does not either require sleep. Most people don't think he's even fucking human, because no one has ever seen him sleep. So Ben walks up onto the deck, into a cloud of opium, sweet, and kind of like stankin' opium smoke as the scene unfolds for you. Go for it.
Mm-hmm. He'll just raise an eyebrow at Zama, sniff the air, and says, "Thought you weren't going to be doing that on duty, sir."
Well,
Blow out of the air, sir. But no mind. We're at anchor.
I do a better job this way.
I understand. I'll leave that to the captain. Well, sort of smile at him. And I'll ask, I'll say, okay, so Zama, what anything to report of through the night? Any issues, any problems, anything the captain needs to be alerted about, anything like that?
The cannibals have been partying all evening. They're drunken, horrible reveling beyond the wind. You can probably still hear the damn thing. They're hooting and squawking, and you see the firelight over there.
I'll look out, I'll notice it.
You barely
over there,
see
yes.
it. And you'll see the column of smoke. They've had a bonfire going all night, and whatever stinking herbs that they have is probably some sort of witchcraft over there. But we're far enough away. The tide changed ever so slightly in this cove, but soon we'll be able to set sail within the hour.
Very good, very good. What I wouldn't give for 24 Corsairs to go over there and interrupt that party and take whatever they happen to have, free whatever prisoners they might have, but it is neither here nor there.
I wish I had a few divers and one less sea monster.
Agreed. I heard tale one time in a port that there was a people far across the sea that could not see, but were excellent divers. They're as a person, they're blind, but they had some kind of a weird mystical sense about certain things, and they would dive on shipwrecks and retrieve the most marvelous things. I think it was a fairy tale myself, tale of the one of those drunk sailors' tales you hear. Then again, look back toward the cove where the thing is I was saying a thing or two myself now that would probably be told to be crazy if I told a tale in a tavern.
Yeah.
But yes, everything seems to be in shape here. So I'll walk the decks and let the captain know once he arises that we are prepared to sail on the tide if need be, and then let him make his decision from there. And yes, he is the captain now. So
he nods. It was a hard discussion to have after you left us yesterday.
I understand. But to tell you the truth, I sort of leaned toward him. It was probably not the worst idea in the world. Oddly enough, I almost feel relieved that he took over, Zama.
Think so?
Manzu, yeah, Manzu is a very able seaman. So
He's older than most of this crew is combined and can kill like a shark.
yes, it's the kind of man you want as a captain.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure the men will look at him and see a man to respect, not some kid, not far from his mother's skirts.
Be that as it may, I
Yes.
will hand the deck off to you then.
I will receive the deck and have a good rest, however you may spend it.
He nods, doesn't say anything more, and goes below deck.
Okay. I'll just take my position and wait for the dawn. Keep an eye on that. I'll mention to a couple of whoever's on the watch with us to keep an eye towards those cannibals. You don't want them maybe to look out here as the sun rises and think, oh, there's a nice bit of prey out there. If anything comes our way, give a yell.
They will. They agree to do so. Manzu rises probably as the first blush of dawn begins to paint the sky there. He is belting on his tulwar as he kind of reaches the top of the stairway there. He stretches and has a cup of like the morning grog there. He drains it, sets it aside, and begins his walk. He goes, evening report.
I'll tell him about the everything that was passed on to me from Zama about the the tide having moved just a bit, the weather being fairly fair in the area, and the cannibals apparently having their party far off in the distance. But they haven't been come this way. Yes, that poor girl. I had mentioned until I mentioned to Zama, I wish I'd had a couple of dozen corsairs to go over there and possibly free any slaves, but that's neither here nor there. And it would also be the captain's decision anyway. We've kept a good watch, and the ship is in shape and ready to sail upon your command as you wish, sir.
All right. We'll get underway then. He gives the orders. Everyone rouses themselves. Night crew obviously goes below and gets their rest. And the rest of the sailors who work obviously during the day will get the ship underway for your sail.
All right.
There's about a half day of sailing. You guys are, well, Ben and Tarak, you are, as the previous scene suggested, you guys are given all of your supplies. You're given a portion, we're going to say at least 2 chains of the ship's provisions, and basically dropped off on a what has been seen kind of deemed as the safer part of the isle, that is closer to the city of Saltage, but it's not. They basically made the half circle around the island, and you dropped off halfway between where you guys were, like where the incident happened and the city, about halfway point. So if you really wanted to, you could hike back to the city in an emergency kind of situation. And Manzu has decided that he's gonna try and find a way to make some money and then get back into harbor.
Okay.
And then wait for you there.
Okay. I will, before we leave, I will ask him to come down to his quarters with me real quick. And hopefully, without anybody else saying, I will hand him the 1 gold coin I have left.
Okay.
This is the ship's coin, and it is. I was holding it for purposes we needed, possibly for supplies if we needed to, but now you being captain, it is yours to hold and spend as you see fit. So
he takes it from you and he says, 1 gold is quite a bit of money for a ship of this size.
it is, but it's all we have. So
Of my personal coin, there's only 4 left. So
yeah,
in total, we have 5.
understood.
I can get us into harbor, but getting out with freight is going to be the difficult part. Do what you need to do on the isle interior and meet us in the city.
Okay. We will do our best to do that and not die in the process. So
we have 2 chains worth of supplies. We will wait that long.
Okay, then I'll meet you there in less than 2 chains. So, and I'll wish him well. Do the forearm shake and pat on the back, and I'll tell him thank you for what you've done for us so far.
He nods. Just don't kill yourself out there.
Well, I don't intend to. So I'm taking Tarak with me. He keeps me alive.
So the next scene, you guys are on the beach with the sum of all of your earthly possessions on the 2 of you, not just your everyday carry, everything. Plus 2 chains worth of traveling provisions as the ship is sailing southeast from your guys' position. How do you wish to proceed?
I'll look at Tarak and I'll say, "You think they'll be waiting?"
I don't think Manzu would screw us over.
I don't think so either.
Considering the fact that he very well could have left us to die, or simply thrown us overboard.
He could have. Turn and look toward the interior of the island. What does this place look like? Is it like a
tropical fucking paradise?
Okay. Is it?
It's real fucking pretty, but in the shadows in there is eldritch horror and nightmare and sorcery.
Of course. Is it sparse trees and low like shrubs and stuff, or is it like
thick trees, thick verdure?
Thick trees. Okay, so it's gonna be a hack to get through it. Okay. All right. I'll
full of tropical diseases and bugs.
Tropical diseases, bugs, insects, not just bugs, spiders, snakes, everything else the posse wants to kill us. And devour our corpses.
Hey man, it's
right.
Planet Australia. Yes. I didn't know we're on Tulum. Come on.
So I guess
thank you.
Yep, Jono. We missed Jono.
Yeah. So with that, I will basically start shouldering our ways, I guess, with Tarak's ascent into this forest, looking for, I guess we look for caves first, but
caves would not be down here near the sea. They would be obviously up further beyond the hinterlands.
At least,
as you guys begin your trailblazing, it dawns on both of you that since well, call it what it is. The facts of the matter are the 2 of the most prominent officers of that ship abandoned their post to go do whatever it was that they went off to do. No, what I'm saying is left the ship and the crew had a meeting with the remaining 2 officers, and it probably came up in conversation like, why don't we just make Manzu captain and we just leave these 2 guys to die? It speaks volumes of Manzu's character that he clearly stood up and says, no, we're going to go get these guys, set them up, and then we're going to leave.
Yeah.
So as we're having this scene, you guys are trailblazing your way through this tropical jungle. We are going to have soliloquies building off of that thought that has percolated in your minds together. Ben, take us away. Trailblaze away.
So as Ben is swinging his blade through the thick underbrush occasionally to clear a path for himself to walk, he thinks back to the fact of Manzu, and he doesn't want to presume, but he did notice that the young man whom they had to bury at sea, as it were, as they set off, was not much older than Ben, may a bit younger than Ben. And that at some point during this journey, Manzu has been very, very open and helpful in managing the crew, and obviously a bit indulgent about that. He probably knew right off the bat that Ben was not mature enough to handle a crew on his own. And that eventually he might wind up in this situation where the crew was going to say, well, we want you, not this little snot-nosed kid. Especially when the snot-nosed kid went off and tried to tackle some kind of horrible sea monster by himself with his buddy. And it's very possible, and Ben thinks in his mind, that when Manzu was having this conversation with the crew and someone suggested leaving the two of them behind, that it may have popped into Manzu's mind the face of his young dead son. And that he had maybe in some small part to help soothe that grief. He had latched on to both Tarak and Ben as surrogates for a time. And that maybe that's why he came to get him. And Ben will actually look back toward the water there. He probably can't see the water or the ship at this point. And he'll think, I wonder if my own father would have done that. He thinks probably not, seeing that he effectively sold his son out to be a sailor at as early an age as possible. And he says to himself, I really do hope that he is waiting for us there in the city. And it's not a hope for himself. It's a hope that he actually hopes to see the old man again. He's sort of grown accustomed to him.
Tarak, take us away.
While Ben is over there, hacking branches down and stuff, Tarak is actually watching the ground, looking for tracks, or for anything that might lead them to where they want to go. Especially because he doesn't have a sword or a machete to cut down branches with, and he figures as though daggers aren't going to cut it. But no, that thought will kind of trickle in his brain, because as you're just walking through a jungle, you don't have anything else better to do but think. But honestly, he goes back to what he told Ben not too long ago. If Manzu really wanted to screw them over, if Manzu really wanted them out of the way, they wouldn't have had a discussion when they got on the ship. It would have simply been, now keep in mind, Tarak knows nothing about how a ship is supposed to work, but he has seen people overthrown before. I mean, it happens everywhere. It happens in your small villages, happens in your cities, happens anywhere. Someone else wants the power, they come in and take the power, no questions asked. So to Tarak, they didn't have to come rescue us at all, one. And two, even if they did, and it's the whole we need to have the discussion, Manju could just be like, no, this ship's mine. If you don't like it, go back into the water with that thing. But he didn't. And he doesn't know if the 2 chains worth provision is supposed to mean something in terms of exile. He heard Manju say, we'll be back in 2 weeks, or 2 chains. Oh, look, we got 2 chains of provisions. If we take too long, we're going to miss our ride. So he is also leaving it up to Manju to effectively hold up his end of the bargain and be like, okay, we'll be here until 2 chains. And if him and Ben show up before 2 chains is up and they're gone, what the fuck? So to Tarak, it's he's not really thinking anything vindictive or malicious or anything like that with Manju. It's Manju rescued them. Manju had a solution for what happened. Manju gave them provisions and says, we're going to give you a ride back when we're all done. And then we're going to go to Raw. He's going to go fuck his wife. And then we're going to figure out our next step. Tarak doesn't really think much further than that. Like, he's thinking everything's just going to go the way it's supposed to fucking go.
So I'm going to say it takes 2 days. You have 2 chains worth of provisions. That is 20 days total. You have 18 days left. 2 days to get to the foot of the mountain.
Out of curiosity, is there enough forage around here for me to use Wild Lord to make those last if we need to?
Probably.
Okay.
Would you like to make one now?
I can, yes.
Before we end this scene and go to 2 days from now.
Yeah, give me just a second.
Basically be mostly bananas at this point because you're inland right now.
Bananas, plantains. Yeah.
So 16?
16, yeah. You can forage at least for yourself and one other person, so that's enough for you.
Yep. Maybe some breadfruit.
So. Right. Anything to make those rations stretch out. But anyway, another day to reach the mountain.
2 days. It's 2 days from the shore, and that's not necessarily in a straight line. You have to pick your way through the shit and the awful and the river. God, that river was terrible. That was actually flowing in the direction of the city and to the southeast, if that is actually important to you. Going higher up on the mountain, you find some old ruins of let's see, like a previously abandoned temple or settlement there.
We'd want to search that,
of course.
Yeah, he did say old ruins is a place for that black lotus might sprout, so maybe take a day to look over that good and thoroughly. You think, Tarak? So yeah.
Well, if you guys want to actually role play through it, you can.
Okay.
Unless you want to pass it by.
No, we should probably go check.
Yeah, we should go check, definitely.
Okay.
So what kind of you say it's possibly to an old god? Is it anyone that we actually possibly recognize?
Oh, hell
We've
no.
seen before.
Do you know any deities that seem to be represented or associated with bats? There's a lot of bat motifs around this place.
No, I have no idea. So nothing of bats.
Now, bats with huge teeth and possibly devouring young maidens with very large breasts in these bas reliefs. Damn, these girls are well endowed.
I know large breasts,
right?
But anyway, that's about it. So
the bats don't have
worship them.
Big boobs, but the bats.
Better point one like I know that one.
Yeah.
Pictorial graphs of
busty
women being drug off by these bat monster things.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll approach quite. I guess you say the place definitely looks abandoned, but I look at Tarak.
It's been abandoned for quite some time.
Okay,
it's very overgrown here.
I still keep an eye out just in case. I guess we'll do a search around. That's an awareness test, right?
Yep.
Just see if there's anything of interest here.
Before I actually look around, I'm actually going to look at the ground to see if there's any other prints before ours.
There seems to be. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking tell you. You're gonna roll for it.
Mm-hmm.
Awareness for that too.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. There's an 8. Damn it! Stop that.
No, don't.
Yeah, right. It's 26.
26. Yeah. Yes. You see prints. A print of a vaguely triangular shaped foot that seems to have 4 or 3 large and 1 small taloned toe appendages. And this thing seems to walk bipedally, but there's another form, like a print of some kind that has a impossibly long digits.
And do these seem
3
like
digits and maybe a deeper ovular depression, like a claw type depression.
First off, he's going to call Ben over to have him look at these. Second, do these look like it's been forever, or do these look relatively fresh? Or
you can't tell.
Oh, that's great.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
this could be new. This could be a few hours. This could have been quite some time.
I don't know what it is. I rolled an 18 on my awareness, by the way, but because I was looking for tracks, I was just looking to see if I saw any movement around.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful day out for it, but now it's quiet.
Too quiet.
Okay. Okay. I will make sure I have a blade out.
Is this a ruin that, like, do we have light here, or do we need to have our own?
You guys are standing outside in the daylight, but if you were actually to enter this temple complex through that archway, you're standing near obviously what seems to be its doorstep.
Right.
But it's pitch dark in there. You will need a light source.
Okay. I do have some fire starter supplies and a ball of twine, but that's not really going to help us much.
No.
Might help us get out, but I don't know how inside. Does this place look really large, or is it fairly small?
It seems to me like it's built into the mountainside. This could be small. It could be absolutely fucking massive.
This could be just an entryway into some kind of a cave. Okay, yeah. We'll need to have torches, obviously.
Is there anything around to use this one? Because I don't have any on hand.
I'll see if I can find it
nearby.
Yeah, we can get branches and So I have my twine, and we can take some cloth, maybe rip off part of one of my spare shirts and wrap it around the end for a torch, maybe. Might last for a little bit.
Oh, maybe we'll also find some inside too. Going a little bit.
If we do, though, maybe we will. Although I looks down at the prints, he's like, I'm not sure if that is person enough to use a torch. I don't know. We'll see. So
right. Okay. So I guess we're gonna light a few torches and walk inside, or we got something else to do.
Well, armed with a pair of torches, you can proceed.
Okay. We'll do that. Torch in my offhand, short blade or my short sword in my other one. Head in and look around.
Who is leading?
Ben, you taking point?
Yeah, I'll take point. So
okay.
And I'll hold the torch high so it's not directly in front of my face,
Entering the temple complex here, or
Yeah.
this mountain interior, we'll call it. You don't actually rightly know that's
Okay.
a temple proper. It seems to be, to the artwork, some dedicated to some entity, but no, is it a place of worship? We don't know. Immediately stepping into the darkness, of course, the shadows are pushed back by your torch, and you step in something squishy and gelatinous, and it
Oh.
makes this sound
I'll
as you sink a
look
couple
down at
inches
it.
into it. It's kind of a brown and white fibrous gloop that reeks something hard awful.
Ooh, I will stop. And I'll look back at Tarat and I say, I don't know what's covering the floor here.
Is it
Have
all
you ever
over
seen
the
anything
floor? Or
like?
do you happen to just hit a spot on it?
I'll hold the torch out and look around and see, is it all over the floor or is it just right here?
It's kind of all over the floor.
Oh, okay, it's everywhere. I mean,
Tarak will actually like squat down and take a look at this stuff.
Yeah. It's
Ben's gonna have to
fibrous brown cream white gloop.
Ben's gonna actually step back to where his feet's on solid ground.
Fibrous and fetid and terrible.
It's horrible.
Not necessarily corpse, but rot and excrement.
I'm gonna look at the like the edges of the walls on each side and see if there's like maybe like a channel or something where this stuff might be coming from.
No,
No.
I mean, it's worn stone, but there's no
Yeah.
like apertures for it to seep out of. No.
Is there anything on the ceilings? Do I see like holes up there where this stuff may have fallen through? I'll hold the torch as high as I can.
There are holes that you can see daylight through, and you spook a bunch of bats, and the cloud of bats come out.
Okay. Freak out appropriately. You know, I'm not used to bats, so it's oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Fuck are these things? They're just flying mice.
Yeah. So, all right.
I'm trying to think animal ecology.
Well, I know personally what it is, but Ben would not.
Could bats be in desert caves?
In tropical caves,
Oh
sure.
yeah, they're in desert caves. Carlsbad's got them.
So Tarak would have dealt with this stuff before then.
Have you ever seen bat guano?
I imagine he's been in his share of caves and he probably stepped in it before.
He's probably seen bat guano and probably almost drowned in some. Yeah.
And being apothecary-esque, you know, he's probably like, oh, what the hell is this? Wonder if I can use this. So, okay, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and eat it. Try not to die of whatever pathogen is in there.
Yeah, right? I mean, you can turn into an edible thing. I mean, Ace Ventura, but we're not going to go there right now.
Yeah, no.
I know there's several uses for bat guano.
Right. No. After that, which Tarak will actually just kind of look up. It's like, that's a big ass swarm. Ben, it's bat shit.
Oh, okay.
And it's crazy. Bat shit crazy.
Little insane too.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't worry. It's harmless. It just stinks to, you know, everything.
Yep. Let me see, would he even know that? Probably. Oh, actually, with animal husbandry, I don't know. That probably would not work for them. No. I was going to see if he actually might have a chance of actually knowing about bat guano and what it's used for. But
even if we did know the uses, I would not want to use this stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So,
no.
I don't have the capabilities or the machinery to turn it usable.
Well, I know I know, but Ben doesn't know what it's used for. So, yeah.
And there's a lot of it.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. He'll ooh. It's like that. So it's oh god. There's not any black lotuses around there, are there?
We just started. Come on.
Hmm.
Don't be such a pansy.
He'll walk back in and sort of grit his teeth as he steps into this stuff and go, ooh. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I would say you can try to light it on fire, but you don't want to deal with that smell either.
No. But yeah, he'll stick near the edges of the entryway, and he's looking for anything that might be sprouting out of the walls or growing, or his whole thing is maybe I'll get lucky and find one of these black lotuses right inside. We can just pluck it and be on our way. But
so continuing down into the bowels
Yeah.
of this mountain complex
Mhm.
here, you come into another passage, a passageway that's got niches in the walls, like
Okay.
similar to like a crypt. There are bones
Okay.
in here. There are deceased individuals that have been clearly been scavenged by whatever, so they've kind of spilled out into the walkway.
Okay.
There is
A little prayer for them.
The moss here actually makes the flags slick for walking, so you're going to have to be careful in the
Okay.
dark going down deeper.
Yeah.
You find yourself in a gallery that excuse me, I can't talk tonight at all. That has kind of a high vaulted ceiling that you actually can't see from the
Okay.
floor, but there are pillars holding this ceiling up. There's a
Okay.
shaft of light towards the back that goes over a dais, and we continue deeper in, and we see a bowl on this dais that's about the size of a wash bin. Like that you could have if like the two of you laid out in like if you actually laid out in this bowl and like feet to head, it's probably like two of you wide, like a 6 foot, excuse me, about a 12 foot in diameter. If both of you are 6 foot tall, 12 foot in diameter bowl. It's just enormous basin underneath this shaft of light towards the back of this gallery here, and you feel there is a quiet, although it is a quiet reverence of this place, but it is a dreaded black reverence. There is some witchcraft here. You don't actually have to be someone who is knowledgeable of the site or a magician or spiritually inclined. There is something here that is unseen. With that, how do you guys wish to proceed?
Tarak will get close enough up to the basin to see what is inside of it, if anything, but he is in no way, shape, or form going to touch it.
Okay.
He's not that stupid.
You get to the basin, and there is an inky black, slightly reflective substance in the basin.
Yeah, no.
Ben will be basically walking the perimeter of this room while Tarak's doing that, looking to see if there's any niches or passageways off of the sides or whatnot.
You see a lot of these bat like motifs keep being repeated, and on the pillars specifically. You look at the walls, you got bats. You look at the pillars, you got something else.
Okay.
Like some of these raised reliefs are there. It's like they are like okay. If I saw a thing and I could draw it on a
Right.
piece of paper, that's one medium. I could convey
Right.
that image with a drawing, a 2D drawing.
Mhm.
But when they try to make it like a raised relief, a bas relief on like sculpture, that doesn't transfer.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like so there's clearly the artist is trying to do something, but when you look at it, you're looking at it going, okay, well, is this artistic license or is this really fucked up? Because the more you look at it, actually starts to hurt your head a little bit.
So and I'm sure the dancing of the flames doesn't really help.
No, it's
okay.
the image itself looks like it's moving with the
Okay, so-
torchlight and the guttering wind here. And the wind here also smells god awful. And by the way, Tarak,
Wonderful.
the thing, whatever this is in the basin, smells way worse than anything you probably possibly imagine. There is body, fecal matter, rot, and this thing, like you're breathing and it reacts ever so slightly to your breath, like you're not trying to breathe on it, but it's like that viscous. Like you can see the ripples in the floor, like in that are in tune with Ben walking across the room, and he's like 30-40 feet away.
Yeah. Yeah, Tarak's gonna step away from the basin. He will, however, walk around the basin to see if there's anything else around it, or if it's just this with the liquid inside of it.
You see a suit of bronze armor that is completely oxidized, pitted, all that all the way through. It's got it would at the time of probably being worn, it probably had designs etched in it. The metal components of this suit of armor, sword, buckles, harness, mail, and everything else that is not decomposable or not dissolvable is still laying in that almost person shaped. It's almost like the person that was in fact wearing this armor at one time just laid down or possibly fell down in this way, and everything that they were that was not metal was taken away somehow.
That's not creepy as hell.
No. And by like Ben, you're also seeing similar things in, like, you see a pile or kind of like a strewn pile of like bronze studs, like that would hold like
okay,
like a excuse me, like a leather a studded bronze jerkin together. And a rather nice, very highly wrought bronze long knife that the wooden scabbard has been somehow eaten away. But you can only tell that there's a scabbard there because there is the decorative end cap for the end of the scabbard on the other side. I was like, oh, and the thing like possibly was still sheathed, and it's got like the top, like the metal clasp that the blade sits into is still on the blade itself.
Okay. I'll pick that blade up and take a look at it.
You pick it up, and the ring, the clasp kind of rattles free because and it looks nice. The leather of the handle has been taken away, so now it's just the wooden tang that's been peened to a lion's head.
Okay. Huh. I'll take that and slip it in my belt. That's actually a very nice knife. And
It obviously needs all of its organic components
yeah.
replaced, but oh yeah, this is actually really rather nice.
Yeah.
As Turok, as you hear this across the room, you notice that like out of the corner of your eye, you can still see the liquid in the basin kind of like ripple and disturb with the clatter from across the room that Ben is influencing through the vibrations of the floor.
I'll start looking through down here and see if there's anything else, moving stuff around, kicking it, Is there anything else over here?
Ben, stop.
What? I'll look up.
Come here as gently as you can.
Okay. He'll overemphasize like the quiet walk towards him.
There's ripples with his quiet walking.
God damn it, that's sensitive. I think whatever, and he'll look around, lives here, or whatever that, and he'll point inside the basin where that liquid has been rippling every time you move.
I'll look up. This is the first I've seen this liquid. What? Oh.
I think that has a way of dissolving stuff, because he will then point to the body that has all of the organicness taken away.
Yeah.
Hey, Turok, make a defense test.
Oh, God damn it. 20.
This gelatinous thing, an arm with 5 fucking multi-digited fingers, reaches out and fucking grabs Turok on the arm, just nonchalantly, grabs him, and it's actually going to do 11 points of vitality damage.
Jesus. Oh, are you fucking serious?
No armor test.
No, it's that is the fact that I'm now down to 1.
Oh my.
Out of reflex though, when I got grabbed, torch. Yeah. Just out of reflex, which might be a very bad thing right now, but
okay. So make reaction tests, gentlemen. You have awakened the gelatinous guardian of this temple.
You just had to pick something up, didn't you, Ben? What did you tell me to make?
Reaction test.
I got a 26.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I rolled high.
Terror breeds proficiency with that.
Yeah.
As this fucking thing grabbed him.
27.
Yeah. Oh, I see, 26 and 27. All right.
Like it, yeah.
This one likes to explode tonight, so that's been good.
But you guys are going to go first, and obviously Turok is going to react. Obviously, slightly first. Go for it, man.
Yeah, no, like I said, because I'm assuming. Okay, did this thing just like grab me and then let go, or does it still has a hold of me?
It still has a hold of you. It has grappled you.
Like I said, out of reaction, a fucking torch.
You're gonna touch it with the torch.
Dude, I have something weird and slimy grabbing me. Yes, unfortunately, Turok's first thought was going to be, torch, get off of me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
go for it.
Might be a bad idea. I might just kill us all, but that's knee-jerk reaction right there.
Make an attack test then. Yeah. This might be fucking scary.
It might be. 19.
Yeah, no, you hit it. You touch it with this with the torch. What does it actually let go? Can it actually register that? Yeah, actually, no. It's gonna dissolve. That basically that hand wrapping a thing on your forearm there that has kind of grabbed you, and it sizzles and lets go. You are now free, and it's rising out of the bowl on like this formless pillar undulating thing that's got hands and mouths and like eyes that are like faux eyes that are not like white pupil type eyes, but like blinking things that actually blink fucking sideways and shit. Tarak, I think that is the end of your turn. We'll go to Ben. Help.
Ben's reaction to this thing rising up is to go "Ah," and scream, which I can't do right now. And he's going to hurl his torch at it.
You hurl your torch.
yeah.
Make an attack. Make an attack.
Yeah.
Make an attack.
Is that attack or an athletics test?
You're
It's a
throwing
throw.
a thing at. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it'll be an attack. It'll be fine.
Okay. All right.
Keep it simple.
All right. Damn.
What'd you get?
Okay. That's 28, 29, 30. 32.
Okay. You probably hit this this gelatinous pillar it's forming center mass, and the torch disappears into it
Okay.
with a
All right.
sizzle, and it
And then it
starts
says,
to lean forward towards both of you.
and then Ben's thing is scream at Tarak, and he'll like she grab Tarak and say, "Let's go, let's run." And he'll start trying to head toward the door.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
We're in full
Tarak-
fucking retreat.
Tarak will try as best he can, being in the quick.
Mhm.
Oh my god, you're at 1 vitality left, right?
One
Yeah.
fucking vitality.
It's
Okay.
-3 to everything.
As I said, if it comes down to it, I will grab him and physically haul him out of there.
Oh yeah, no, you guys gotta fucking
Yeah.
haul, because this
Act-
when this thing tried to bend down towards you, it like bifurcated as like this
Mhm.
big giant Y to stretch out to both of you. You guys, is it safe to say that you guys leave the temple?
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna just haul ass out. Yes, Mike.
Well, he's in the quick, so I don't know how easy I could actually do this. Because he still has 2 of the oil casks.
Okay.
And as he's running, because he knows it touched the small thing, like he touched the arm and it dissolved his arm, but he saw him throw it against the body and the torch dissolved.
It
So
disappeared into the thing.
Fucking disappeared. So in his befuddled mind, he's wondering if bigger flame will actually do something to it. So his thought was throw down one of the oil casks and throw down his torch into it.
We'll see.
Even if it doesn't do anything to the thing, hopefully the thing can't chase them.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's something that's possible with how weak Tarak is right now.
Give it a try.
What do you want me to roll for that then?
I would guess in flight, just make a we'll keep it simple. You're just dumping this out on the floor.
Yeah, like, well, is it one of those ones that basically has like a lid to it? I can literally just like make a trail of it as we go, or is it you got to be kind of like smashed to spread it all around?
I kind of imagine that they're probably like amphoras, where like big plate bases with 2 handles on it. It's probably got a cork on top. You probably just dump it out as you go. Make you know what? Make an attack roll. Make an attack roll -3, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Okay.
You're not attacking it, I suppose. This is a physique based thing just to keep you in the scene,
Right.
and you're also impaired, obviously.
18.
18. Yeah, no, you dump it out. You fall a little bit behind Ben, of course, but you're dumping this oil out. You can light it as you go. A few moments later, you guys are back. You would like to think and hope you're back at the entrance, but a stone has been placed in front of the entrance, and you're trapped in here with this thing.
Of course it has.
I'll look up. You said there were holes above where light was
Yes.
coming through.
Yes.
Ben's gonna start looking for a way to climb up.
There are other hallways there. But you could actually go straight up. You would not be able to fit both of you be fit through one. But you'd have to actually try and clamber through it.
You think you could make it there, Turok, or no?
I could try.
With his injury on his arm, he probably can't climb, period.
So I'll look at Turok and say, is this like you could probably try, like I could probably try to swim?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure, man. I promise I can make
okay.
it. I promise.
Well, I hate running blindly down these other hallways. We're going to have to find a way out of this place.
I'd
like to know what
writhing towards you.
Oh, great. It doesn't seem to care about fire.
It sees the fire and actually gives the fire a wide berth.
Doesn't like fire. That's good.
Yep, that's clear.
Do you want to try and see if that guano will actually light?
It'll create. I don't think that your characters know that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think Turok had mentioned. I wonder if this thing's burns earlier.
Oh,
and I said, "Do you want to see if it will?"
I did say you could try lighting on fire, but I bet you won't like the smell.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
All right.
And that was more of a whole. We've all smelled burning shit before. It's not the best smell.
Okay.
So if we can get off one of the side passages, you want to try to light it on fire? We only have the one torch left.
Sure. Something better than nothing, I suppose.
Yeah.
How big was that stone that's in the way?
It blocks the entrance.
So big enough we're not going to push it out of the way, I'm sure.
More than likely not.
Yeah.
Not in time.
No.
As you guys steal a glance back, this thing pours itself out of the bowl, almost like hideously liquid-like, but also somewhat solid, and sprouts legs like a centipede in the mouth of a crocodile and starts writhing towards you.
Oh, great. Okay.
Ben, throw back the sword.
Okay, I'll take the blade that I picked up and throw it back in toward the thing.
It ignores the sword and keeps coming.
Damn it, that was a valuable one. Anyway.
Yeah, but you also took something you weren't supposed to.
Well, I mean,
what made you think? Keep in mind, I'm doing this while we're like running down near the hallway.
Yeah.
What the heck made you think it was safe to take anything out of here?
I don't know. I mean, it was just laying there, like it was being used.
So you pick another hallway to run down, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're heading down one of the hallways.
You go down another hallway.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself in another crypt, seemingly a crypt that has one stone pillar that has several bones with tattered cloth still clinging to these corpses. There are 4 corpses chained to the center pillar. There are 2 hallways, the one on the right, the one on the left. Looks like a primitive torture chamber with kind of like niches and shelves kind of carved into the wall with rusted scalpels and such like.
Okay.
Remind me to come back here and burn this whole place to the ground.
That sounds good to me. Which way do we think will be more towards the entrance? Basically, if we went down, like say a left-hand hallway, the one to the left would go back out toward the way we came in.
They both go deeper into the mountain.
Pick one, Ben.
One goes
No,
right,
left.
one goes left.
Left.
So you pick a left. You go down the left-hand hallway. You
Yep.
kind of almost stumble down the hallway. Make a reflexes check. If you make a 12, you can not fall the fuck down the stairs.
14. Barely.
14. You don't fall down the stairs. Tarak, reflex test.
I actually got a 12 because of the -3.
Okay, you almost stumble down the stairway and face plant, but Ben's in the way. You fall on him. You guys keep going. You keep running this thing because still chasing you down this horrid staircase. Now,
yes.
When this thing comes around the corner down into this spiraling staircase, it's almost like it wants to keep its form, but it's also liquid and slime mold in a way where it just keeps
starts dripping down the hall,
pouring and forming, and like a crocodile mouth will come out, like a hand will reach out and grab. Like Ben, it tries to fucking get you. Make a defense test. It's gonna try its goddamnedest to get you with a 17.
22.
22. Holy shit. How do you narrowly avoid this crocodile mouth taking out your leg?
This thing goes for my leg, and he literally does almost this comedic high step and actually brings his knee almost all up to his chest and actually squeals. And
the asshole puckers just a little bit.
Yeah. And he'll actually hop down 2 steps to get away from this thing so that as it swipes past him there.
So you guys sprint down this hallway.
Yeah.
This thing chases you. What's up, Mike?
I was gonna say when the crocodile snapped at him, if given the time, Tarak will try to hit it with the torch.
I don't think you have time.
Okay.
It is right there. And you guys are trying to haul it. You guys go deeper down still into the mountain. There is a wide chamber here that has what seems to be like a water channel. You hear the water rushing over a waterfall. Long before you see it, you go down, you burst down into this chamber. There is half a bridge still intact. You can actually cross this bridge by making a jump check across the way. Excuse me, a proper athletics test will actually get you to the other side. Who is leading?
Probably me, actually.
I figured Ben's pulling me along, so
Probably Ben. Okay. This thing reached past Tarak and tried to grab Ben, but there is Ben, you burst into this area. You have a second to act. It looks like a place where they pulled in like whatever the civilization was in an ancient time, used like it's to get its fresh water here.
Okay. I guess we're gonna have to try to jump this bridge.
You go across the bridge, make an athletics test, jump across the bridge.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Ooh.
I will tell you after you tell me what happens in this scene.
Athletics.
I exploded twice, so that's good.
Right?
I have a 19.
You have a 19. As you mount the bridge, the bridge crumbles underneath you, but you get across it fine. You face plant on the flagstones on the other side. Tarak, you're on this side with the thing. What do you do?
Oh, fuck. Because he would have tried to jump right behind Ben.
Exactly. What are you doing? The thing enters the chamber with you.
Right. How far down is it to the water?
Several hundred feet down into the black.
Okay, looking around, do I have another way? Is there another hallway to go down? Is there another way?
There's a hallway behind Ben.
That I can actually get to.
Hold on.
No, that you cannot get to. No.
Yeah. What's something else I can actually get to?
No. I'm sorry. I apologize.
How about the rope I'm about to toss across to you? Because I got rope.
Do you Let me ask, do you have time in the seconds you have to see this? The bridge crumbles, it enter the chamber with Turok to throw the rope.
Well, that's the
Would you
question.
have
Is
enough time?
Yeah,
when I-
you're
when I-
probably you're probably getting up from your face plant as this thing bursts.
yeah,
in.
that's what I'm saying. So
Right.
So I probably get up for the face plant and look back. My first thought is to get to my rope. So do I have time to get to my rope?
Make me a cunning test.
Okay, while he's doing that, and I know we have just seconds for this, but he's going to take because right now he's like the edge of the bridge that just collapsed.
Yes.
This thing burst in. If I look down, what does like the face look like that the bridge was going over?
The cliff face. It seems pretty. It's pretty sheer.
God damn it! Like not climbable or hangable in any way.
He would have to be a very proficient climber, but it is
not-
not impossible.
Not happening with the way he's injured right now, especially because
No.
I can barely climb as it is.
That's a 14.
It's a
cunning.
14. No, you do not have enough time to.
Okay. Is there anything else in the room that I can get access to go anywhere else?
No.
I'm not making that jump. Even with the 22, I doubt I'm making that jump.
You would have to crit to make the jump.
Yeah, I'm not making the jump. Shit. How big's the room?
It's about a 40-foot oval.
Very
You
thick.
guys are on the nearer sides.
Okay, what I'm asking, and this is going to
Yes.
sound stupidly ridiculous.
Hey, it's fine.
Is there enough crap in the room on the side of me and the creature that I can basically wing around it and avoid it until Ben throws me a rope? Or is it kind of open and I'm just going to get fucking cornered?
You want to try and play keep away for just a few seconds to buy
Yes.
your life? Yes, you can do. There is in fact a well that you can kind of like wheel around. Ben, give us the
Okay.
goddamn rope, please.
I will do that.
Rope. Pull the rope out. Tie the knot on the end.
I really hope-
make me a knot test.
I really hope
Not
you can
test.
lift my ass up because I'm going to be grabbing
You
this
have
thing
knots?
with one hand.
I know
Mhm.
you have knots.
Oh, yes, I have not.
I goddamn hope you do. That was the purpose of your character.
Yes,
Right?
it is. This is his big. This is his big time. Yes.
This is his thing.
Swear to God. First I get hit with a fucking eldritch octopus thing.
19.
Now I have a goddamn
19.
gelatinous pillar after
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, you whatever you did, it was real
Yeah.
pretty to make that fucking lasso.
Yeah. It's what they call a tossing knot, which basically
Okay.
gives it a little bit of weight at the end, so I can actually wing it out to him.
Okay, so you got a rope.
And then he's gonna start wrapping the other end around his waist and bracing himself.
All right, Turok, what are you doing? You now have a rope tossed to you that actually kind of falls into the fucking well, but it's conveniently right there.
Okay. And Turok is going, well, he's going to like zigzag around this fucking thing. He's going to grab the rope and he's actually going to make a leap over the chasm as far as he can get to.
Okay.
As you grab this rope, you have hand physical contact with this rope.
Like coil around.
You're grabbing it. You're doing all of this as the thing turns into this purple black wave that kind of like goes over the top of the.
Of course it fucking does.
And it because it's a fucking cheating son of a bitch.
Then he's not going back to the bridge. He's just gonna jump wherever the fuck he can jump from.
You basically jump into the fucking water. You have to. You either that or you get devoured by whatever the fuck this thing is.
Yeah.
You jump into the water. Ben,
Yep.
I really, really need you to pass a physique test. Like,
Yes,
really,
sir.
this is a torrent. Otherwise, you both are going into the drink.
Okay. It's a
I
good
thought.
test.
Well, I thought you said the water was hundreds of feet down.
It's you. There is a bridge here. Okay. It's a channel that's cut out of the mountain that diverts fresh water into this complex. The waterfall to you now, actually, fuck here. Back up ever so slightly. You guys are still in the scene where you're at. When you
Right,
burst into this room, this thing wasn't in the room with you yet. The two of you are standing in the doorway of this room. Across the both in front of you, there is this walkway. To the right of you, there was that well I spoke of earlier.
Yep.
Across the way, there is that channel, kind of like a water channel, and the bridge that goes across to the other portion of the room. You know what? I'm actually going to pull up paint, and I'm going to draw the picture for you.
Oh, I assume the waterfall is the part that's hundreds of feet down, right?
It's actually to your left. All right, here.
Okay.
Here we go.
With
So we've got
swiftly running water.
okay.
By the way, when it comes up, 27.
Okay.
Good thing Turok doesn't weigh very much.
Okay. Share screen. Paint. Shwack. All right. So
All right. Okay.
this is okay. Red. I'm not gonna draw it on here. So there's the purple. It's gonna be this the big purple thing.
Okay.
Big fucking
I
apologize, everybody. Okay, so Turok is here. Turok is green. Ben is blue.
Okay.
Actually be fucking blue. But and the water's
okay.
fucking blue. This is water.
That's okay.
And
I know
this is
myself
the
from water.
Water.
Okay.
Down. It goes down over here. This is hundreds of feet down. This is the ovular shaped room. This is coming up from above. And the bridge is in fact no more. So here,
Right.
Ben,
All right.
you'll be red.
Okay. Okay.
You'll be
I'm
green.
red now.
So you've thrown a rope over,
Mhm.
and we've got that as this purple thing is attempting to go get Turok.
Yeah.
Obviously not like that, because it's actually going this direction as a wave.
Yeah.
Coming to get you. So now, do you understand the situation?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Art class is now over.
Right.
Okay.
Ben got a 27 on that physique test.
Yes, I did.
Hey, oh my God. That is a torrent of water, and thousands and thousands of gallons are coming down every goddamn minute. That is not gonna go, my friend. You are both swept into hell.
Okay.
Now, the last thing you see is this purple writhing, whatever the fuck it is. Plain and simple. Turok disappears.
Okay.
Ben, brief soliloquy of "Holy fuck, my friend's gone." Brief.
Okay.
Go.
Brief soliloquy as he goes over. As the line is playing out, he has it wrapped around his waist. He sees him go over, and he's like, at first, he's like, okay, I've got myself braced really good. Where am I? He's looking at his feet, trying to find out where he's going to get good purchase, because he knows that snap is about to happen. And hopefully he hopes Turok can hang on. He sees this thing out of sort of keep an eye on it out of the corner of his eye as he's looking where the line is going. And his mind is thinking to himself, oh, this is going to suck because I can swim, but he really can't. As you said, as the line snaps taut, and since I did mention they had wrapped it around my waist, it's going to jerk me into the water head first down the fall.
Yep.
At which point the thing going through his head is, I can't scream because my voice.
Hey, Turok. The last thing you see is basically the color purple, and being obviously, and you jumping for your fucking life into the water.
It was a good effort.
What do you do?
What can Turok do?
Or what is he thinking?
Honestly, the only thing going through his head is I hope Ben can pull me out of this, because either I'm going to die from whatever the hell, which he doesn't even know if this thing's going to get stopped by water, if it's just going to infest the entire channel.
Mm.
And two, yeah, he went into the water, which in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I could barely swim to begin with, and now I can't even use one of my arms. Say my prayers to the desert sands now.
All right. That is where we will call the session for tonight. As we don't know where our
A literal cliffhanger.
a literal
Yeah.
cliffhanger, a excellent cliffhanger to start off the new year of gaming.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining us here on the Edge of Shadow. Yeah, no, gelatinous monstrosities are
Ew.
terrible. Ew, run. Good night, everybody. We'll be back in next week.
Good night.